Hey, B.
What's up?
Part D.
Part two?
Yeah, D.
D. Part D.
Of Higgins.
Part two of Higgins.
Right? So, I was looking for a script, but we don't have scripts, boy.
We don't script here.
We're real cold.
Yeah, we do.
Right?
We always do. Fly by the seat of our pants.
That's why we off screen we always do this, right?
Sometimes our pants are on fire.
Yeah. Hair's on fire, but if we had film. So
sorry to make you wait, but part two.
Part two.
Tonight, and it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
So
did you need to do anything? Any housekeeping?
Yep. First, we'd like to thank Jonathan Jacobs, Simply Vegas, for providing us with this place to record. Go see him before you buy a house. If you're thinking of relocating to Vegas, see Jonathan Jacobs, Simply Vegas, before you do anything. He's a good, honest realtor. He'll sell you a house. And get your butt down to Zangief Jiu-Jitsu. My coach is given one free week trial. And if you sign up, you get a free gi. So good savings there. Anybody in Vegas area, if you want to come roll, come on down.
Free Miyagi, Mr. Miyagi.
Free gi. Free gi.
So listen, we have to say something though. We have to say a heartfelt thanks to our subscribers.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Holy macaroni. What happened?
The lives were fun.
Yeah.
They were very fun. I was a little leery of lives, but...
it's a good thing that the camera only catches from the chest up because my knees were shaking like a leaf, son.
Oh, stop. Stop.
So, yeah.
People asking us questions.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
He's kidding.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. So, you ready to get this thing started?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right, America.
Steve.
Let's roll Steve on.
I want to talk about what you did after you woke up on January 29th, 2022. That was obviously a memorable day in your mind, correct?
It was a sad day.
The very first person you spoke to after waking up was who?
Well, I believe I said I got the call from Chief Berkowitz.
That's not my question.
Say that again?
Who's the first person you spoke to on the phone that morning when you woke up?
Bryon Albert.
Why?
We know why. We know why,
What was it for you to drive to Bryon Albert's house that morning?
It was my idea.
Was it important to you to speak with Bryon Albert in person rather than over text or phone call?
No, it was important to support the people that were there.
So, of course, you drove over to his house and had an opportunity to speak to him in person without any law enforcement presence, correct?
I was there with everybody, not just Bryon Albert.
And Bryon Albert was in the house and you were in the house, right?
That's correct.
So you had access to him and others without any law enforcement there. Is that right?
That's correct.
Hey, Brian.
Pause it.
Hey, Brian.
Pause it.
Come here.
Family huddle.
Yeah, I know.
You were there.
Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah.
Right? They're getting their story together.
That's all Action Jackson's trying to say is you're alone with B. Albert. Yeah. How hard is it to go, hey, B, come here.
Yeah.
Come here, buddy.
Yeah.
And then they disappear in a room for a couple minutes and then come back out. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Or like you said, the whole circle, right? Huddles up. Hey, let's quarterback this thing. And
Yep.
All
Roll
right,
it.
Steve.
As you got off the phone with Bryon Albert that morning, who did you call? At 7:22 a.m., if you were.
I think I might have called Chief Berkowitz back.
So as soon as you got off the phone with Bryon Albert, first thing in the morning, the next call you made was to Chief Berkowitz. Is that right?
Yes, because he had called me first. Yes, I called him back.
Get him straightened out, boy.
Did you request from Chief Berkowitz any information that he may have had concerning the investigation surrounding John O'Keefe being found at 34 Fairview that morning?
No.
Getting the feeling we got a cop in my crew.
Were you trying to see how much law enforcement knew right away?
Absolutely. I didn't even know what happened.
Were you trying to gather information about what happened so that you would know what happened?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
No.
What you were trying to do?
No, Your Honor.
No.
What did Chief Berkowitz tell you about his knowledge of John O'Keefe's body being found just after 6 a.m.?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you tell Chief Berkowitz that you had been with John O'Keefe and you were at the crime scene the night before?
Objection.
Sustained. You can ask that.
Wow. He's
Ask
asking
it
some,
differently.
Did
Asking
you
good
inform
questions,
Chief
though. Of
Berkowitz
course he
that
is.
you'd been with John O'Keefe the night before?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
I believe
Thank
I
you,
may have
Bev.
told him at some point that I saw John at the waterfall.
Did you tell Chief Berkowitz that you had been at 34 Fairview?
I believe I did.
Did you tell him that your vehicle was parked just feet away from where John's body was discovered?
No, because I didn't know where he was discovered.
Did you tell Chief Berkowitz that you and Brian Albert had had a call at 2:22 in the morning?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you tell Chief Berkowitz that you had been flirting with John O'Keefe's girlfriend in the weeks prior to his death?
No.
Bet you left that out.
you like that pause? He was waiting for the objection.
Did you
I bet he
ever
left
tell
that out.
Chief Berkowitz about the nature of your interest in Miss Reed?
No, I don't believe so.
Especially after he showed up dead.
Yeah.
Did you tell
Ain't
Chief
saying nothing
Berkowitz
now.
that you had seen Mr. O'Keefe and Miss Reed the night before, and that Miss Reed had ignored you?
Objection.
Sustained. You can break that down, Mr. Jackson.
Wow, you're just going to
Thank you,
sustain
I may
it?
have just a moment.
Yeah.
Axon's just stacking up cards to building up his house to
You
knock it
indicated
out.
just a second ago that when
He's a genius.
I asked, did you tell Chief Berkowitz that your Jeep was parked just feet away from where John O'Keefe's body was found, you said, I have no idea where John O'Keefe's body was found, correct?
That's correct.
You had just spoken with Brian Albert, right?
He said in front of the house.
All he said was, John O'Keefe was found in front of the house. He didn't say, right outside on my front lawn.
I believe he said he was found out in front of his house unresponsive.
Okay. If he was out in front of his house, then you would know, because your Jeep was also parked out in front of his house, that your Jeep would just be feet away from him, correct?
Objection.
Yeah. That yard's not that big.
No.
Did you tell Chief Berkowitz that you had texted John O'Keefe to have him come over to 34 Fairview just hours before he was discovered dead in the yard?
No.
Did you think any of that was important when talking to the Chief of Police of the Canton Police Department?
I'll let him have it.
No, I didn't. There was no reason to tell him.
Pause, Steve. That's a lot of information that he could have disclosed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember if there's been ever a situation where we've been involved and we've been questioned by our supervisors, you know, hey, where were you at?
Right.
You know, how come it took you so long? And I can't remember if there's anything like that, but I can relate that if I know anything about what just happened, I would disclose everything,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Just for the simple fact that, hey, I'm not guilty of anything.
Yep.
And here's why.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I
in
didn't
case
do anything.
in case this comes up in the future, this is what's happening,
Yeah.
right?
I agree.
Some preemptive CYA.
I agree. I
And by
agree.
him doing this, it's just suspicious, bro.
We've never been really called in on stuff like this because
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. We didn't do bad stuff. You know, when you don't do bad stuff, you don't go into IA.
You have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
You know,
You know, every time I went to IA, I think which was like 3
you're
times in
always
my
as
career.
a witness, right? Or,
No, but it was all false allegations.
oh
It
yeah,
was
yeah. 'Cause
People
you're
saying I said stuff on video
potty
and
mouth.
they forgot that I had body cam.
Yeah.
They said that I called them certain names,
Yeah.
which I didn't, and it was
Um,
all on body cam. So
Uh,
that's when body cam first came out, and then after a while, you can get exonerated very quickly. They just watch the camera.
yeah,
That's
the
it.
boss comes out and says,
Yeah.
play it on your phone, and you
Yeah.
watch it, and you he didn't say that.
Yeah. Other than that,
Roll it.
You've been an investigator for some 15 years, and you were a firefighter for years before that, correct?
Yes.
You're very familiar with some of the tools that are used in conducting modern investigations, correct?
Yes.
You'd agree that searching electronic devices and phones is an incredibly important investigative tool that modern investigators use, correct?
Objection.
In that form, I'll sustain it.
Are you aware that searching electronic devices is an important part of investigations?
Objection.
Are you aware of that, sir?
how is that an objection? This guy objects to
I've
every
utilized
question.
phone data during the course of my investigations at times, yes.
Okay, so another way to put that is
Phone data is very important.
an electronic
Very
is
important.
an important part of investigations.
He knows that.
Yes.
He's ATF guy. Come on, he knows that. He knows everything.
Being stupid.
Yeah, he's being stupid.
Making me mad.
what time do you believe you got to Bryon Albert's house that morning when you, after you received the phone calls and woke up? What time did you make your way back over to Bryon Albert's house?
Maybe around 7:15 in that area.
Was there any law enforcement presence there when you arrived?
I can't recall specifically. There could have been one police car. I'm not positive.
Did any officer ever ask you to take a look at your...
Did he just say one police car? Did he just say that?
He did. Dude, that thing would be a lockdown, man.
An hour after they get his body.
Yeah.
Maybe
one.
An hour after they discover him. Maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
The scene is clear and there's one cop car.
Yeah.
How is that even humanly possible?
It's not, bro. By normal standards, it's not.
Let me just say, here, if this happened here, in an hour, there'd be still people arriving.
Yep.
There would still be people arriving. There would probably be, I want to go, I'm going to...
Staging area for media.
I'm going to say roughly a dead officer in a cop's front lawn here in Vegas. I'm going to say no less than 200 to 300 people are showing up to that scene.
Yep.
And I'm not kidding.
And they're staying there
200. Trust
16
me.
hours.
Yeah, the Ross shooting, the video of me shooting the active shooter at Ross, about a half hour after the shooting occurred, there was probably 150 cops in that parking lot. Detectives, I mean, you name it. And I'm not kidding. I looked out the bus and I was at the window and I'm like,
It's just a sea of black and
it
black
was
and
like
whites.
it was like a rock concert of
Yeah.
cops and detectives and so I'm in awe that he just said one.
I know.
Probably Chief Berkowitz having coffee inside with the
Yeah,
Alberts.
his body was right there somewhere. I don't know.
All right.
At what time?
That time. But actually at any time.
No, not to my knowledge, nobody from law enforcement associated with the investigation had ever asked to take.
Law enforcement.
So they certainly didn't ask that day, correct? On the 20...
What I'm saying is, to my knowledge, nobody has ever asked me that.
Right. So that's my point. I'm just trying to break it down.
You're breaking. You want to tell me every instance when somebody could have asked me?
Correct.
Okay.
On the 29th, where you asked whether or not your vehicle could be searched.
Searched or inspected? What do you mean?
Either one.
Well, I would consider a search the inside of the vehicle more so than the outside. I would consider the outside more of an inspection. I would have been happy to show them it.
I'm sure you would have. I'm asking, did they ask?
No.
They didn't have to search it. They didn't have to inspect it.
No.
When you met with troopers, who was it that you met with on the 3rd of February?
Trooper Proctor and Trooper Buchanan.
Did either Trooper Proctor or Trooper Buchanan ask to inspect your vehicle, otherwise search it?
Not to my recollection.
And to this day, nobody from Massachusetts State Police has ever indicated that they want to inspect your vehicle.
No.
When you entered the house that morning, Bryon Albert was there, Nicole Albert, Jen McCabe, Matt McCabe, Bryon Albert Jr., and Julie Albert were all there. I'm sorry, had Julie Albert gotten there yet?
She came after me.
Okay, so at some point, all the people that I just ticked off, they were all inside the house.
Bryon Albert Jr., Nicole, Brian, Matt, and Jen.
You all discussed the incident together, correct?
We literally can do whatever we want. You understand? We own this city. We own it.
That's what they were saying.
Describe it that way, no.
Exactly what they were saying.
We got it.
Did each
Got
of you
this.
discuss your own perspectives about what had happened the night before
Run this
the morning hours?
That's what they were saying.
I'll allow it.
People were in shock at the table, trying to figure out what happened. The math didn't make sense. John and the defendant never showed up. People were in shock.
Trying to figure out what to say, right?
No.
Exactly.
And you were all talking within
exactly.
earshot of each other, right?
No objection
We
to
were all
that, though,
there
huh?
in the kitchen talking together.
At this meeting, and these were friends and family, correct?
Excuse me?
These were friends and family amongst themselves, and you being a friend.
Yeah.
These are friends and family inside that house discussing this incident, correct?
Yes.
So
He's got
at
the
this
fear of
meeting,
God
you
in
actually
him right now.
instructed Jennifer McCabe to call Canton PD and ask someone to come back.
Objection.
Sustained as to that form. You can ask it differently.
At some point, did an officer come back to re-interview Jen McCabe?
Yes.
Jen McCabe had told you that she had information about something that Ms. Reed had said, correct?
Objection.
I'll allow it. Did she tell you that morning?
She didn't specifically tell me anything. She made a statement at the table to the group of people and she clearly seemed like she was in shock. She was upset. And she made a statement, something to the effect that Karen had opined that she had hit John.
What she actually said was, I hope I didn't hit him, correct?
Objection.
Opined?
It's not what I heard. No.
That'll stand.
Who did you ever tell this to?
I've reported that.
That she said, I hit him?
Yes, I've reported it.
What you reported was she said, Karen said, I hope I didn't hit him, and you said, oh, you need to tell Canton PD that. Isn't that right?
No, I don't think that's what I said. No.
You're as sure about that as you are about that 222 call, right?
Objection.
Sustained.
Boom! Boom!
Did you leave Brian Albert's house?
It would have been, I believe, when Sergeant Lank arrived, and I think
Darts.
Lieutenant Gallagher might have been with him.
You weren't scheduled to work that Saturday, correct?
No.
Matter of fact, you weren't on duty at all.
No, I wasn't.
But you didn't go home and get some sleep or run errands. You went directly to Canton PD from 34 Fairview yet again, didn't you?
Who could sleep after somebody just was discovered like that?
Did you go home or did you?
I don't believe I did, no. I believe there might have been a stop at Canton PD before I went home.
As a matter of fact, you didn't just stop at Canton PD. You spent the entire day at Canton PD on the 29th, didn't you?
I don't know that I spent the entire day there, no.
Well, you've got a key card,
Let's check.
right?
I do
Let's
have a
check.
key card.
And that key card logs swipes.
That's correct.
So it logs where you go, access to, and access inside
Yes.
Canton PD, correct?
Yes.
When you got to Canton PD, and you're telling this jury you don't know how long you spent there.
I don't know how long I spent there. I don't know if I left and I came back. I don't recall.
So if the records indicate that you were there from 9 a.m.-ish, after 5.
I don't know how the records would indicate that.
Exactly. Just gathering info.
I'll show you.
Somebody rat on me? Who ratted on me?
While you were at Canton PD, did you speak again to Brian Albert?
I don't remember.
While you were at Canton PD, did you speak again to Chief Berkowitz?
Most likely.
While you were at Canton PD, did you speak with Brian Albert's brother, Kevin Albert?
I don't believe so.
So don't read it out loud, please.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Just
Your Honor.
do you recognize
Yes, I do.
it?
Okay.
Yes.
May I approach?
Yes.
This appears to be a log of key swipes in and around Canton PD, correct?
Yes.
And it's in reverse chronological order, in other words.
I didn't note that, but okay.
Okay. You acknowledge that that is a record of the key swipes that everybody uses moving in and around Canton PD, going through doors, every place that needs a key swipe is logged.
I would assume that's what that is, yes.
All right.
Everywhere you go, tracked.
I don't want to
That's a good
belabor this because we could get bogged down into it all day long. Would you have any quarrel if those logs indicated that you were moving in and around Canton PD at 9:28, 9:53, 9:53, 9:54, 9:54, 11:40, etc.? We can look at every one of them if you want to.
Well,
That doesn't
He was all
refresh
over
your
the place.
recollection.
There's a lot of moving.
And I'm sure that building's not that big.
it would not be uncommon for me to move around Canton PD at various times or dates.
Right.
Middle of the night, during the day. But just because I swiped in somewhere and then you have a swipe at the end of the day doesn't mean I was there the whole day. I could have left, I could have come back, and I truly don't have a recollection, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't there all day.
Fair enough. If we moved from 11:40 to 11:44, 11:45, 11:47, 11.
Going room to room.
11:52.
Hey, what do you know?
Jump
Anything? No.
to
Hey, what do you know?
2:05.
Not even that.
Would
He's
that
just
be an
talking to him
explanation
and say,
where
hey,
you might have gone
listening
out
to what's
for
going on
lunch
the radio, right?
Could have.
Okay, come back. If
Yes.
there's a 2:05 and 56 entry, then obviously you're there, right?
If the card was swiped, I was there.
I mean, you're not giving that card to anybody else.
No, I'm not.
No way, right?
Hey, Steve, pause it for a second.
Let's-
Listen, when we would go into lunch to the station, right?
Yep.
We just don't go into the kitchen, right?
No.
We go see who the sergeants are here, who's the lieutenants on
Sometimes,
deck,
yeah.
right? Go to
Yeah.
PSU,
Yeah.
see who's in back in PSU.
Yeah.
You know, and our building's not too big, but it's big.
Enterprise wasn't
Right.
too big, but yeah, I mean, it's
You can go room to room,
I
and
think
say
it's
hi to
like
everybody,
6,000 square feet.
right?
You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty decent one story.
But you go to all the rooms and see who's there, especially if you're buddies with everybody. You know, swing
Yeah.
shift,
Yeah,
graveyard
day
shift,
shift
right?
swings. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So for him to say, yeah, I don't know if I go to every room. A guy like
did.
this
He did.
in a small
He did.
little department like that, he
Yeah,
knows
absolutely.
everybody.
Yeah, the building, theirs is
And-
smaller than ours.
And he's ATF. You know what he's doing? I'm ATF. Hey, how you guys doing?
Yeah.
You guys need anything to
So
for me, right?
he's out of their jurisdiction, basically.
And he's
So
not even working.
he's in the building, and basically Gonzo's saying he's got the key to do whatever he wants, and no one's going to question him. So he could literally stand outside the door, inside the room while they're talking about stuff, and just stand there and
He
listen.
could be in there drinking a donut or eating a donut.
And no one's going to say anything to him, and they're not going to tell him to leave,
Yep.
right? So that's what he was doing. He's probably bouncing room to room, gathering intel. Hey, what do you know? What do you know? Right?
Exactly.
Let's just look at 2905 because I want you to be comfortable. Page 2905, and let's look at that 205 and 56 entry.
I'm at 2905. Where would you like me to look?
About right there. Basically middle of the page. May I approach? Yes. This might be a little easier. Highlight it before you approach.
I see it.
Okay. So that would indicate that you were back at Canton PD at least 2:05:56, and you were granted access Sally Port to front door, correct?
You like that?
That's what it
barley
says,
water?
yes.
Barley water.
At 3:10 p.m., you called Brian Albert's brother, Kevin Albert, correct?
I don't know. It's possible.
Okay.
I mean, I don't remember every phone call I made that day.
Understood. Do you remember talking to Kevin Albert?
I don't.
So you don't remember what you discussed with him?
No.
Do you remember that it was a 12-minute phone call?
No, I don't remember having any phone call, but I'm sure it's possible that we spoke.
Do you remember Kevin Albert providing you any information about the ongoing investigation into John O'Keefe's death?
No.
Did you ask him about additional information concerning John O'Keefe's death?
No.
Were you providing details
Bull malarkey.
back to Brian Albert that you were receiving while at Canton PD?
Absolutely not. No.
Do you recall that 2 minutes
Nice.
after you cleared the call with Kevin Albert, you then called Brian Albert?
It's possible.
So I think the question was, do you remember? Do you remember that?
Your Honor, there was a lot of phone calls made that day. It was an upsetting day. I spoke to
bet.
multiple people.
All calls to the same
multiple
people
times.
Yeah.
that are not involved
What can you say to the same people?
over and over again.
Exactly.
Just to close this loop, that appears to be your phone record, correct?
Yes.
And it appears that you made a call at 3:10 for 12 minutes with Kevin Albert, correct?
Yes.
3:10 plus 12 is 3:22, correct?
Yes.
You had cleared the call about 3:22, is that right?
Yes.
And then it shows a 3:24 phone call to Brian. Brian Albert then calls you at 3:24, correct?
Yes.
And you two speak for 6 minutes, is that right?
6 minutes, 5 seconds. Yes.
May I approach?
Yes.
Does that refresh your recollection that you made those calls?
Based on the record, yes.
Yeah, can't say no.
Yeah.
Can't say no.
That's where
Is that
cell
just a
phone
coincidence
data
that you
information
were
is
talking to
important.
Brian
Yep.
Albert and Kevin Albert within minutes of one another?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot going on that day. People were upset. And I don't remember the phone calls. I don't deny making the phone calls. I just don't remember them.
Do you remember providing information that you were learning from Kevin Albert to Bryon Albert?
Absolutely not.
Pause it for a second, Steve. I don't like it when they add more adjectives. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
Just no.
Yeah.
Right? When you try, he's lying, right? He's lying.
He's lying. He's lying.
Like Brian was saying, if you call somebody one time, okay, twice, okay, I get that. But 4 or 5 times throughout the day, especially when you're at the police station. Oops, sorry, buddy.
It's okay. 4 or 5 times to each person of the entire family.
Yeah.
I mean, he made like 25, 30 calls to the Albert family that day, that morning. What are you calling these people so much for? Hey, John's dead. Okay, blah, blah, blah. How did he die? We don't know yet. It's under investigation.
Tell everybody else.
Tell everybody else, I'm sorry. Who's going to contact the family? Oh, the coroner here in Vegas. The coroner notifies next of kin.
Yep.
We, cops, we do not go to people's houses and tell them that
unless we're requested to go with the coroner.
Unless we're requested to go with the coroner. The coroner always tells the family, notifies the family.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it back here.
Yeah.
But
he's just sharing information, what he's doing. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, this is what they know so far. Get your story straight.
Yep. That's exactly what he's doing. And he knows it.
Yeah.
That's why he's getting angry. They got to throw in that, oh, I'm offended that you're thinking that I'm lying.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Bull crap. Sorry.
Try
not to curse.
That's why I said bull malarkey.
Bull malarkey. Sorry.
Thank
Bull crap.
Thank you, Steve.
Lying.
And then
He's thinking, what are you going to hit me with next?
may I, Your Honor?
Yes.
If you look just below those phone calls to Kevin Albert and Bryon Albert, there's 2 additional phone calls that you had with Chief Berkowitz and then Bryon Albert again, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Higgins, it looks an awful lot like you're gleaning information from Canton PD. Were you doing that?
Objection.
So I sustain the objection in that form. You can ask one part of that question.
Sure. Were you getting any information from Canton PD?
No, I wasn't.
Did you provide any information to Bryon Albert
No, I did not.
based on any conversations or conduct at Canton PD?
No.
May I approach?
Yes.
Hey, Steve, can you pause it and rewind it before that
He's lying.
that text message or that little thing came on the bottom? Because if you notice, all of his interviews so far is he's been kind of relaxed back here a little bit, right? But then when Action Jackson is going to ask him these questions, right? Watch his body standards. What happens to
That's
him.
because Jackson's pushing him. He's pushing him. He's pushing him. So now he's like,
yeah.
he's like, you're going to keep pushing me. I'm going to lean forward.
To
now.
me,
What's
that's
up?
a defensive move.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there.
In that form, you can ask one part of that question.
Sure. Were you getting any information from Canton PD?
No, I wasn't.
Did
See
you
the way he's
provide
staring
any
at him?
information to Bryon Albert
No, I did not.
based on any conversations or conduct at Canton PD?
No.
May I approach?
Yes.
See how now he relaxes. Now he relaxes.
But you were, in
I got
fact,
that. I nailed that. Nailed it.
with all of those interested parties
I got him fooled.
I was
Answer that.
okay.
There's
Yes,
no
Your Honor.
objection. You can
I would. Yes, they're friends, and I was on the phone with them.
And
Yes.
Bev is running the
You were
show
not
there,
on
dude. I'm
duty
telling
that
you.
day, correct?
Leading the dance.
No,
You are not a Canton police officer, correct?
that's correct.
You were not assigned to this investigation in any formal capacity, were you?
I was not.
As a matter of fact, you're a witness in a homicide investigation. That's your only role in this, correct?
That's correct, but they're still my friends.
And
Yes.
yet you're still having conversations with Kevin Albert at Canton PD while you're at Canton PD, correct?
Not about this.
And you're having conversations
Oh, Larky.
of Canton PD while you're at Canton PD, correct?
I had conversations with them, but not about this.
And
No.
you're consistently through the day calling Bryon Albert,
I don't know
aren't
why
you?
I'm saying.
I had conversations with Bryon Albert.
I'm going to pause for a moment. Oh, no, we're not. Disregard.
Was found on his lawn. Yes, of course, I had phone conversations with him.
I want to take you back for a second to a couple of other.
Actually, Steve, pause it for a second. Biggest thing, one of the biggest things that happens in Canton, right? One of the biggest things that could happen in your life and you go with all your friends and you don't talk about it?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
we would be talking about it. We talk about everything.
Yeah.
So if something major happened, yeah, I'm going to tell you everything.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. And you took the words right out of my mouth. This is a huge, huge incident, right? No, I didn't say nothing to him.
Yeah, like we're supposed to believe you guys weren't in there drinking coffee and eating donuts and talking about the biggest thing in the front page news in the world, and y'all ain't talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Whatever.
No, dude.
Get the heck out of here.
They were at the bar having a good drink. I'm sure he's telling them
Of
all
course,
that.
man. Of course.
He was acting a fool, all that crap.
Yeah.
Entries, including one at 3:57, one at 3:58, and one at 4:07. I'm going to draw your attention to 28:85 and 28:86.
Okay.
First entry is at 3:57 and 54 seconds.
$3:57 and 54 seconds, I see it.
Brian Higgins booking to Sallyport, correct?
It says Brian Higgins, communication to pedestrian Sallyport, communication to pedestrian Sallyport.
Look at the one just above it. That's 3:58:24. Look at 3:57:54. But the one it probably is going to be just below it because it's reversed.
You said 3:57:54, correct?
Correct.
That's what I just read.
Got it. Look at 6 entries below at 3:57:36.
3:57:36. I see it. Access granted, Brian Higgins. Booking to Sallyport, Sallyport to booking.
There's one more on
that.
page 2885.
Yep. Their jail cameras
For
suck.
47:47.
You know, they're not that good.
My Ring camera is better than that.
Yeah. Our cameras are really good.
407:47.
Correct.
4K.
I have it. Access granted,
see
Brian
everything.
Higgins.
Is that a
Booking to
pinball in your
Sallyport,
notes?
booking to Sallyport.
And there's no record in that document of you exiting, correct? That's just booking to Sallyport.
Yes. I don't, yeah, there's no record. I don't know if it
That's all-
records you
that's all
going
I-
up.
you
That's
answered my
fine.
question. There's no record of it, correct?
Not that I can see here, no. I'm sorry.
And you're aware that that's about 90 minutes before Karen Reed's SUV was delivered to that Sallyport, correct?
No, I'm not aware of that.
You're aware that her car ended up in that Sallyport where you were at 5:36.
I'm aware her car ended up there, yes.
Are you aware that there was other evidence that was also being held in the Sallyport?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you see any other evidence in the Sallyport related to this case?
No.
Did you see a bag, a grocery bag with 6 solo cups there?
Objection.
Did you see any
Grocery bag.
ordinary there?
Hey, did you ever see some solo cups with some blood in it? I think it was in a
Don't see
Walmart bag.
anything.
No? Okay, thank you.
Are you aware that at 5, well, let me ask you this. You and Chief Berkowitz were moving in and through, at least in some parts of the day, in and through Canton PD together, correct?
At some points we might have been together. I'm not, I mean, we weren't together all day.
Matter of fact, he was also in the Sallyport around the same time you were, correct?
I don't recall that, no.
He was busy.
But the records would reflect that, right? The records that are in front of you?
Objection.
Sustained.
It looks good. Is that good? Is that good?
You were in the Sallyport the last time you're logged into the Sallyport, it's 4:07. Do you remember seeing Chief Berkowitz at Sallyport at 4:14?
No, and if that says that I'm logged, that could be me cutting through.
Higgins, all I'm asking you, I'm not asking you what you did. I'm asking you where you were.
Never
I don't know where I was at that specific time.
Answer
You
the
walked into
question.
Sallyport, we know that.
If I walked in, I
Correct?
cutting through, yes.
Right. Was Chief Berkowitz in the Sally Port at 4:14?
Not that I recall, no.
Was he there at 4:30?
I don't remember ever seeing him in the Sally Port, no.
Was he there at 4:33?
I don't remember ever seeing Chief
Those are all
Berkowitz in the Sally Port.
timestamps. That's why he's saying that.
Objection.
Sustain. Let's move through this, please.
Finally,
not gonna say so,
was he
but
there at 5:36 and 37 seconds at the same time Karen Reed's vehicle was delivered?
I don't.
I thought that was your cell phone.
He remembers.
With Chief Berkowitz when he made a call to the front desk? Do
No, I don't remember anything like that, no.
you remember Chief Berkowitz calling the front desk at 5:42 and saying, shut the barracks?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you remember any kind of call shutting the barracks, meaning shutting the Sally Port?
Objection.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember anything like that, Your Honor.
Okay, next question.
Pause it for a sec, Steve. Dude, if they had their evidence in a
Walmart bag?
in a Walmart bag
That's
in
proper,
the
bro.
Sally Port.
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see a problem with it. What's wrong with it?
Listen, give them better than
They
that.
probably sealed it tight. They tied it. Probably double
But
knotted.
the thing
it.
is they had a CSI team come out and process the scene, right?
They did.
Why wouldn't they take it?
That's a,
'Cause
that's a great
that's-
question.
That's a
That
standard.
is an amazing question. America, why wouldn't CSI come and take the blood and pick up all the evidence? Gee, I don't know. I don't know.
Am I drinking beer or white water? Why am I drinking beer?
I don't know.
Dude, I'm baffled.
And we're not laughing because of this, we've had comments, people, they say we laugh and it's disrespectful. We're not laughing at O'Keefe or any of this. We're
It's just
laughing
the
because
process.
this is so bad. It's like comedy movie BS. That's unbelievable.
Well, in the 20 years that you were employed with Metro, did you ever collect evidence?
All the time.
Did you ever?
Well, I mean, I would
You would
mark
mark it,
evidence,
right?
I would
But you
mark
would-
evidence. Yeah, little things like if we stopped somebody off the street and they had a crack pipe or something like
Right.
that, we would take it. We would
Yeah.
call CSI out for that.
But
So-
you have your bag.
Yeah, on a daily basis, we have a
Yeah,
very
reload.
strict policy and procedures on evidence, and it's actually very simple.
Yeah.
It's very simple, but it's pretty foolproof. Ours is pretty
Yep.
foolproof.
Yep.
So the fact that they did it in solo cups and it wasn't a Walmart bag, but it was some kind of plastic bag.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
Jeff
beyond a
Bezos
joke.
don't
That's
need
like
no
some
more.
Simpsons type
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Or what's the South Park type stuff?
Yeah.
Like literally, this
Yeah.
is like South Park.
So
Can I
that's
say?
it.
All right, sorry,
Malarkey.
malarkey.
Let's roll it.
Leave Kenton PD until close to 6 p.m. Isn't that right?
I don't know what time I left.
Could it have been 5:50, 6 o'clock?
I don't recall what time I left.
That might be true. Maybe.
You're aware that there's video surveillance feeds
He was up all night
in the Sally Port
drinking.
garage, correct?
That's correct,
Big
yes.
thing.
Around the building.
Were you in the Sally Port at 5:36 when the car was delivered?
I don't have any recollection of that, no.
It's one thing to say I don't remember. It's another thing to say, no, I was not there.
I don't remember being there, no.
Is it possible that you could have been there when that car was delivered?
I don't believe I was, no.
You don't believe you were?
I don't believe I was, no.
Well, let's pull up the video of you standing next to the car.
let's do
Video
that.
surveillance feed
Oh, it does exist.
Oh, that's right.
at or around 5:36, the precise time when the car was delivered.
Missing minutes, right? Like 45 minutes.
Right.
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you receive a flurry of phone calls from Brian Albert and Chief Berkowitz indicating that some taillight pieces or a taillight piece had been recovered at 34 Fairview later that evening?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you receive a call at all, without telling me what the conversation consisted of, around 6:12 p.m. from Brian Albert?
I don't know what day you're referring to.
The 29th.
No, I don't remember any phone calls like that.
Do you remember 3 minutes later getting another call from Chief Berkowitz at 6:16 p.m. that lasted about 5 minutes and 15 seconds?
No.
If you look at the entries for 6:12, 6:16,
Well, let me remind you.
see if that
Let me
refers.
refresh your memory. Yeah. You don't remember? Now you do.
Are you referring to the,
6:12 and 6:16.
okay, I see those, yes.
There was a call at 6:12 that Brian Albert made to you for a duration of 1 minute and 7 seconds, correct?
Yes,
Then right after that, there was a call from Chief Berkowitz to you at 6:16 that lasted 5 minutes and 15 seconds, correct?
yes.
May I approach?
Yes.
Pause it, Steve.
You may have.
They telling you,
So at 7 o'clock, 7:30, when he arrived, there might have been one cop there,
In the morning.
right?
Yep. Okay.
Now, everything's been collected,
Of course
right?
it has.
Right?
They're
At 5:30, 6 o'clock,
stellar cops.
they
are.
find more evidence at the scene.
At night.
Ironically, after Karen's vehicle is in the Sallyport.
Correct. Something stinks. Something stinks. Stinks. Stinks.
Malarkey!
Yeah.
Well,
That's because he's like, hey,
exactly.
I'm going to get to the house real quick.
Exactly. Exactly.
Objection.
Yep.
Hey, look what I found.
your testimony is that you don't recall the substance of those conversations at 6:12 and 6:16.
I don't, no.
Isn't it true that you were asked about those phone calls at another hearing?
I might have been, I don't recall.
And did you testify at the other hearing that, in fact, what was discussed was the substance of the taillights being found at the location?
No, that's not what that was in reference to.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Here, let me remind you.
Were you being provided information from your friend, Chief Berkowitz, about the progress of the investigation?
No,
No.
Were you providing your friend, Brian Albert, information about the progress of the investigation or what you perceived it to be?
no, I didn't have any information on the investigation.
You were not interviewed about this case in any formal capacity until 5 days later, correct?
That sounds about right.
February 1st, Trooper Proctor?
I'm not exactly sure the date, but it was several days after, yes.
I'm sorry, I said February 1st, maybe it's
I don't-
February 3rd.
I don't know the date, but we were into February.
Where did that interview take place?
Sharon, Mass.
I'm sorry?
Sharon, Mass.
At what location?
Sorry?
What location?
They went to church.
You gotta pray for some. Gotta pray, son. You're gonna go down.
When I hear mass, I think church.
It's not, no.
Police department.
By the time you interviewed with Trooper Proctor, you had already had numerous conversations with Brian Albert. Is that safe to say?
Well, the interview was with both Trooper Proctor, Sergeant Buchanan, and of course I've talked to Brian Albert because
We had to get our story
of
straight.
what took place.
Higgins, that was a yes or no question.
Yeah.
Of course I
Exactly.
talked to him, yes.
Okay, and the answer is
There you
yes.
go. But see how he's babbling? Which, hey, I'm not protecting him.
Thank you.
But if you ever go to court, America, don't do that.
Don't babble.
Don't babble.
And Trooper Buchanan, you had already had numerous conversations with Chief Berkowitz, correct?
Yes,
Short and sweet.
You had already had numerous conversations with Kevin Albert.
yes,
You had already had this meeting with the Alberts and the McCabe's over at 34 Fairview. Is that right?
I went to the house.
Yeah.
And discussed
Circle
this
of trust.
case, as you earlier described in your
I
testimony.
discussed what we were trying to figure out what
You
happened.
discussed this case, Mr. Higgins.
Well, at that point, it wasn't a case.
Okay, I'm not parsing words about what a case
Oh, my
is
God.
versus a matter versus an issue. You understood my question, didn't you?
Got a dead cop.
Yes.
Is there a reason you don't want to answer that question?
I don't have a problem.
Objection.
It's a case.
Is there a reason or why don't you go ahead?
Well, I feel you're trying to make it sound like something it wasn't. It was.
I'm not trying
What?
to sound like anything, sir. I'm asking a question. Had you discussed this case or the issues surrounding this case with those folks?
I did discuss things when I went back to the house, yes.
And that was before you met with Trooper Proctor and Trooper Buchanan, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
You had already spent an enormous amount of time at Canton PD. We've just gone through those records. Is that right?
I have been at Canton PD, yes.
Whole day.
You've been able
From
to
9 to 5.
access, at least, to all the officers, correct?
What do you mean by, could you
Anybody that was coming and going at Canton PD.
access for what
Say it.
purpose?
Just to walk by and hear what they were saying.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's not what I was doing, no.
I'm not accusing you of doing anything. I'm saying you had access to the individuals within the Canton PD, correct?
To interact if needed, yes.
And very obviously, you had access to the Sally Port.
I had access, yes, and that's a cut-through I used all the time.
And anything that was in it. Correct?
Yeah, any evidence or anything that's in there, he has access to.
It was only after all that that Michael Proctor thought that you were worthy of a conversation.
Objection.
I'll rephrase it. It was only after all of that that you were interviewed by Michael Proctor and Trooper Buchanan, correct?
I wasn't interviewed to the following days. That's correct.
Maybe he's a little insulted.
Yep. Yep.
At some point on February 4th, Chief Berkowitz called you to personally inform you that he had personally found taillight at 34 Fairview. Is that right?
He did
chief.
tell me that, yes.
And to be clear,
The chief.
that's the same Ken Berkowitz that you were with in the
You
South.
believe that? I got a bridge to sell you.
I don't recall being in the Sally Port with him, no.
Right. What did you do with that information when you learned from Chief Berkowitz that he personally saw a taillight piece as he drove by?
I didn't do anything.
As he drove by.
Information overload. All the electronics around you poisoning the airway.
Did you call Brian Albert?
No, Brian Albert called me.
You were asked this
bet he
specific
did.
question in the other
A lot of times.
in June of 2023, correct?
I don't know if it was the specific question. I was asked a series of questions on how the phone calls came in. That's what I was asked.
And your answer was, it's 100% probable that I told him about that, meaning I told Brian Albert about my conversation with Ken Berkowitz, correct?
It's possible.
Was that your statement or not?
It was my statement then, but I've thought about it, yes.
And you've changed it?
Yeah.
I'd like to change my statement, please.
The way the phone calls
Strike that from the record.
Brian Albert told me, you're not going to believe what was found on the front lawn. And then I believe Ken Berkowitz told me he found the taillight, and I'm referring to the taillight from the both of them. I didn't provide any information to anybody.
Well,
information was provided to me.
What you actually said was, it's 100% probable that I told him about that. Yes, 100%. I'm not hiding that fact, but you're asking me if I recollect specifically. I know I called him after
Objection,
that
Your Honor.
call.
All right, so
Too many facts. Go slowly.
Sure. You said, yes, 100%, correct?
In that testimony, I did, yes.
And then in that testimony, you went on to say, I'm not hiding that fact, but you're asking me if I recollect specifically, correct?
Well, I don't have it in front of me. That's what you're telling me.
You went on to say, I know I called him after that phone call, correct?
I don't know.
And you went on to say, if that's when Chief Berkowitz told me listen, I didn't do anything wrong in this.
Pause that, Steve.
That was your statement.
Why would he say that? I didn't do anything wrong here. Why would he say that?
Because he's feeling really guilty.
Right?
He's feeling really
He's
guilty.
got something.
Yeah, he's getting flustered. He's kind of playing games, like when he said, "Do you have access to the officers?" And he's like, "Well, access where? Who to who?"
Yeah.
He's playing word games. He knows exactly what Jackson's asking him. Exactly. He just doesn't want to say it.
He doesn't want to get pinned down.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get pinned down, and that's the problem.
And when does a chief go out and look for evidence? When does that happen?
Never.
Right?
No, chiefs go to meetings, get coffee, and really
Rub elbows with the big wigs, right?
Yeah. They handle political stuff. They're not cops at all.
They're
not
a crime scene.
Yeah, they're not cops.
They will go initially. If they should have gone to when the initial call came out, all the people should have been there.
If I'm the chief of police in a town and there's a dead cop in the yard, absolutely, you're going to call me. I'm going to get up, get dressed, and I'm going to beeline right to that scene.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
If I'm the chief of police, that's exactly where I'm going to be.
Stars never go to the crime scene after the fact. Maybe to do a...
They're too good for that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's beneath them. My guys will tell me what I need to know instead of actually going and being a good leader and seeing it and saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. But was the chief in the circle of trust?
Oh, sounds like he was.
Sounds like sounds like maybe he was. Maybe he wasn't at first, but now he is, because I don't know.
He's collecting evidence.
Yeah, I'm not saying he is or he ain't. We don't know.
Collecting / planting.
You said it.
I did. Roll it.
Objection.
Prior hearing, correct?
So I'm going to strike the end.
Your Honor, may I?
Yes.
You said you don't recall that entire testimony, right?
Not that portion, but I know I was asked about how the phone calls came in and what was said.
Do you think it would refresh your recollection to see a transcript of your answer?
Is this it right here?
That's it.
I'm going to read it.
Does that refresh your recollection to what your testimony was under oath?
He's like, no.
I do.
Yeah, it does.
And you said, if that's what Chief Berkowitz told me, if I listen, I didn't do anything wrong in this, correct?
That was the statement I made, yes.
Remember scratch? See that?
It's set up. Set up.
Why did you say, listen, I didn't do anything wrong in this?
Objection.
Why'd you say that?
Because I felt they were being accusatory, and I was trying to explain what was going on. And what I had said over that was, I believe what I said, something to the effect, I can't be 100% positive. And then when I went on to say, it's probable. But I felt like they were being accusatory, and I was trying to explain how the phone calls came in. I've had time to reflect about it after that, since that testimony, and both that information about the taillight that was found was provided by each person. I didn't provide any information to anybody.
Next question.
Thank you. You said, look,
Big
I
answer.
didn't do anything wrong in this.
Thanks, Auntie Bev.
Because it
Yeah, that
looks
was a
like
big answer.
you and Ken Berkowitz were colluding to provide information to Bryan Albert, correct?
Objection.
Is that correct?
Absolutely not correct. That's
And you
wrong.
knew that was going to look like collusion, which is why you said, look, I didn't do anything wrong in this.
Objection.
Objection sustained.
Mr. Higgins, if you wanted to get rid of, and you've dealt with cell phones and electronic devices in your career many, many times, correct?
Over my career, yes.
You've probably even written search warrants for them, things of that nature, right?
Yes.
If you wanted to destroy evidence on your cell phone, what kind of steps might you take to do that?
Objection.
If you wanted to just get rid of information on your cell phone that would be unrecoverable, what steps might you take?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you know how to get rid of information on your cell phone?
Objection.
That's allowed. What the? You can answer that.
Do I know how to get rid of information?
Shut up, Lowy.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
there's
he
different
does.
ways you could wipe your phone.
He's ATF. He knows exactly what he's doing. 15 years ATF. He
wipe
knows
your phone.
exactly.
Just get-
Factory reset.
Factory reset might be one, wiping your phone, taking the SIM card out.
I don't know that the SIM card's going to take information that's on the phone out.
So that might be one avenue. You could break the SIM card in half,
It could,
snap it.
it could, yes.
I think 90% of our viewers
enormous
know
amount
how
of
to.
data. The phone's just a brick, right?
No, I don't know that.
Okay. You could also, if you take the SIM card out, you just get rid of the phone somehow, right? Just destroy it.
Yes.
That's what I did.
Exactly.
That's what I did.
Consult with some kind of an expert to help learn how to permanently erase things from a phone, like a forensics expert, for instance.
Objection.
Sustained.
On Saturday, January 29th, you spent much of the morning at Bryan Albert's house, and then the rest of the day variously at Kenton PD. You would agree with that, correct?
No, you said I spent much of the morning at Bryan Albert's house?
Correct. In other words, you went over there at whatever it was, 7:50, 8 o'clock, something like that, and then until about 9 o'clock.
No, I got over there around 7 o'clock, and I was there less than an hour. I wasn't there most of the day.
Okay,
I never
fair
went back there.
So you spent time at Bryan Albert's house, then much of the rest of the day at Kenton PD, correct?
Yes.
And then the very next day, that Sunday, you called a friend of yours, a guy named Matt Kelch, didn't you?
Yeah, he's my best friend,
And
yes.
he's a special agent with the FBI, isn't he?
No, he's not.
Was he then?
He's never been a special agent with FBI. He's a special agent with ATF.
My mistake. I thought he was with the FBI. He's a federal special agent,
He's a coworker of mine, yes.
which makes him a federal special agent, right?
An ATF agent, yes.
And does he work for or have access to the Regional Computer Forensics Lab?
Yes, he works over there.
Okay, that's the FBI Regional Computer Forensics Lab, correct?
Yes.
That's how I got my mistake. I apologize.
Well, I just want to make sure the record's reflected correctly.
You and me both.
It's reflected correctly.
Reflected it correctly. So Matt Kelch is an ATF agent who works at the
Yeah, you got it.
FBI Regional Computer
You got
Forensics
it.
Lab, correct?
We got
Yes.
And he's an expert in digital forensics, is he not?
He has a level of expertise more than myself,
And
yes.
he's one of your best friends.
He is my best friend.
You spoke to him about the death of John O'Keefe, did you not?
Yes.
And you asked him for a personal favor, sort of off the books, correct?
Objection.
In that form, I'll sustain.
Did you ask him for a personal favor?
No.
Did you ask him to show you or consult with you how to pull things off of your phone that you decide to get off your phone?
I asked him how I could pull text strings off my cellular telephone for the purpose of providing them to law enforcement.
This was not
Law
in
enforcement.
connection with any case that he was working, correct?
So let me ask you this. He had not been interviewed yet, right?
Right.
He went to the Alberts in the morning.
Yep.
Then he went to the police station.
Yep.
The next day, he goes to the forensic facility to extract text messages or call logs to provide it for law enforcement.
Yeah.
How does he know that they're going to ask him for anything? He hasn't been interviewed yet. He's doing everything preemptively, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why would he do that if he has nothing to hide?
Because it's chess, and they got to win. He's making his moves,
Right?
because he's
This
lying.
is because
He's
he
full-
knows
he's full
he
of crap.
knows how important his
Yep.
text messages, his thread is to this
Yeah.
case,
Yep.
and he does it before law enforcement even requests it.
And if you think
If I'm understanding this correctly,
correct, and he's pulling what he wants,
Right.
Because then he looks good, saying,
Hey, I already did it for you,
"Hey, I need your phone." He's like, "Oh yeah, no problem."
but he doesn't give him the phone.
Well, he gives him his text, like, "Yeah, you can look at these."
Yeah.
Or I'd be like, "No, bro, give me the
your
phone." Oh, this is a new phone? Where's the one that you recorded to hold? Oh, you threw it away?
Yeah.
Go get it.
Oh, we haven't got to that part yet. We haven't got to that part.
Oh, sorry.
You're jumping
I'm skipping
jumping
it,
the
sorry.
gun. All right.
That's correct.
It was not in connection
You didn't hear
with
that.
the case you were working, correct?
Objection.
Objection sustained, but already answered. I'll strike that answer. Second
Yes.
question.
No game.
I think he's getting nervous.
Is in connection to any?
We gotta make a shirt. I think he's getting nervous.
Next question.
But you asked your friend to
Look at him. He's like ready to play ball now.
utilize
He's like,
his resources to teach you how to extract certain information off your phone. Is that what you did?
I asked him if it was possible to get this off, if there was a method to get this off my phone so I could provide it to law enforcement.
And that information was selected by you, correct?
Two particular text threads, yes.
Right. In other words, there was nobody else that was picking and choosing what to get off your phone. That was just you.
It was me, yes.
And the reason you did that, Mr. Higgins,
Convenient.
is that you wanted to control and limit the amount of information that was pulled off your phone, right?
Objection.
Is that why you did it?
No, I
reason
did
to
it because
object.
I wanted to provide it to law enforcement, Your Honor.
Okay, next.
law enforcement. No, it
He's lying.
He's lying.
He's lying.
And let them input the entire thing, correct?
Exactly.
I guess
No
that
phone.
was an option, yes.
And you knew that
Yeah.
was an option at the time. And
Yeah.
trained
And he was like,
ATF agent.
Screw that.
What's the question?
You knew it was an option to just hand your phone over. Just pick it up and give it to him.
And there was also an option to provide it to them as well.
Right. But you chose the one you got to select the information, not the one where they would get everything, correct?
Objection.
Changes to that.
That's exactly what I
It
did.
doesn't matter.
Did you actually go to the FBI computer forensics lab?
Yes.
Anybody can miss 32,000 texts.
Let me correct that. I didn't go to the lab itself. I went to a kiosk, what they refer to as a kiosk on the first floor over at FBI.
Okay, and
And,
that's-
and all local PDs, law enforcement have access to that.
And that's obviously,
It's an unrestricted area. You can be in there, as I understand it, unaccompanied if you're local law enforcement. It's on the first floor.
that is a federal facility, however.
Yes, it is.
Did you utilize any computer or any data extraction machinery, if you will? A computer or something to extract this data?
Well, it was a machine. I don't know what it's called.
Okay, fair enough. I'll use the word machine. I don't know what it's called either. So you
machine.
hooked that phone up to a machine, correct?
Yes,
And that machine belonged to the FBI. It didn't belong to you, is that right?
that's correct.
So that was a federal resource, not for anything having to do with any official case that you were working. Isn't that right?
Objection.
So I need to see you. I know this is not considered, but I need to see you.
Mr. Jackson's going to make an offer of proof of a question he's about to ask your client, or a couple of questions he's about to ask your client. Doesn't make any sense to me that somebody has counsel and the counsel is not aware of a potential issue. So you'll hear the offer of proof. I'll let you speak to Mr. Higgins before this actually happens before the jury.
Could I just have him identify?
Yes, I was just going to ask you to identify yourself.
Sure, my name is William Connolly, spelled
Cuddly?
C-O-N-N-L-L-Y.
Connolly? Cuddly? I don't know. Oh, Connolly.
All right.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
The witness has indicated that he utilized federal resources for personal gain. The specifics of that testimony have been as follows. He indicated that he contacted Matt Kelch, a federal agent. He indicated that he utilized a federal facility that was, he called it an unsecure facility, but it's a federal facility notwithstanding, and that the two of them, he and Agent Kelch, utilized federal resources in the form of some kind of a machine, as the witness indicated, for his own personal gain, so that he could, as a witness, in no official capacity, working any official case, and in Matt Kelch's capacity as an individual rather than an agent, they both worked together.
My bad.
To download certain information from the witness's phone in anticipation of turning that highly selected, highly curated information over to law enforcement so that he could later ultimately destroy his phone, which this witness in fact did.
Okay, so it's not.
I need 10 seconds.
I disagree with you.
You're screwed. I'll see you.
Reach that level. His testimony was that he went to a kiosk on the first floor where all local police departments can go. It's unrestricted. It's on the first floor. And we just got to the part about a machine in the kiosk when you mentioned an FBI resource. So what is your question? What questions do you intend to ask this witness now?
Whether he is aware that under 5 CFR 2635.702, it is a federal offense to use his public office, to use any public office for his own private gain or for the gain of persons or organizations with which you are associated personally.
That's why his lawyer's there.
An FBI agent or an ATF agent cannot use federal resources for personal gain. The fact that he contacted an ATF agent, the fact that he utilized a facility that is owned by the federal government, run by the federal government, paid for by taxpayer dollars, and the fact that he used a machine that is owned by the federal government to download certain information for his own personal gain, that personal gain being, these are the curated texts that I'm going to turn over to law enforcement, that's a federal offense.
All right, so those questions are going to be asked. I don't know that there's been an objection to them.
Should have just gave his phone over. Now he's catching a case.
He caught a case. He caught a case. You know when you're a witness?
You don't want to catch a case.
You know when you're a witness and you bring your lawyer comes in.
I'm going to need you for a second. I think I'm in trouble.
You are really effed. You are.
A federal offense, bro.
Even the judge was like, are you an idiot? Dude, this does not look good. I'm surprised that if I was his lawyer, I'd have been like, what was that?
I quit.
What was that? He did all that? Bro, I'll see you, bro. You're screwed. You're going to jail. I'll bye.
Yeah. Thanks,
Not
Steve.
sure I'm going to let them in, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to speak privately with your client in the bathroom there. Can you do it in short order? Or do you need
I
more time?
can do it in about 10 seconds.
Okay.
You're screwed, bro.
All right.
You're screwed.
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
So
22 seconds, he said you couldn't have anything of substance, remember?
Mr. Higgins,
But he's going to talk with his lawyer in 10.
The phone was hooked up to some sort of machine at the FBI kiosk, correct?
Yes.
You're aware, sir, that under 5 CFR 2635.702, you may not use your public office for your own personal or private gain or for the gain of persons or organizations with which you are associated personally under pain of a federal offense, correct?
Objection.
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Are you aware that under 5 CFR 2634.704, it's a felony to quote...
Objection, Your Honor, as to reading.
He's reading out of a book, man.
For an employee, I'm sorry, an employee has a duty to preserve and conserve government property and shall not use such property or allow its use for other than authorized purposes. Were you aware of that federal regulation?
That objection sustained.
Of course it is.
Sir, notwithstanding those regulations, you utilized the services of Matt Kelch as a friend and a colleague, but utilizing federal resources to pull information off your phone, correct?
Objection.
Sustained as to that form.
In fact,
Bev needs to be pushing a broom in a high school somewhere.
Why do you think I put that monkey at the beginning?
text that you turn over to.
This lady's a judge?
Correct?
You
Objection.
gotta be kidding me.
In that form, you're almost there, Mr. Jackson.
Somewhere high school needs a superintendent.
That form was improper.
She's it.
The information that was ultimately pulled off your phone was the information that you selected and you and Matt Kelch worked together to get off your phone, correct?
Objection.
Is that correct?
No, Your Honor, if I could explain.
Sure.
He walked me through on how I could pull the text string with John O'Keefe and the defendant. He walked me through the process, how to use the machine.
And then you did that.
I did do that. That's
And
correct.
that's what you turned over to the police.
That's correct.
And any other information would still be on your phone ending in 5421, correct?
Well, that information stayed on my phone. I just took those strings off and provided them to the Mass State
Right.
Police.
So where's your phone?
I do not have that phone anymore.
You've destroyed that phone, haven't you?
No, I threw the phone away.
Well, that's destroying the phone, isn't it? I didn't ask you about that. I asked you what you did.
Objection.
Sustained.
You destroyed the phone.
Of course it's sustained.
SIM card. Half, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you do that? Pull the SIM card out?
Objection.
Did you pull the SIM card out of your phone?
Your Honor, to the best of my recollection, if I did take the SIM card out, I would when I threw it away, if I was going to take it out, I would break it or cut it. But I did not wipe the phone. I did not take anything else off it. But if I was going to throw the phone away, that's what I would have done.
Okay.
You know, as an ATF agent with electronic data experience, when you pull the SIM card out and break it, and then throw the phone away and the SIM card away, you don't need to wipe the phone.
Objection.
Sustained. Mr. Jackson, that's it.
Your Honor.
One more question.
Oh, okay. Well, we have a whole investigation. I'm sorry, I'm allowed one more because you don't like the questions because they're too tough.
I think. You were aware that there was a court
Getting upset?
order that you not alter, delete, or destroy, or in any way manipulate your phone or the electronic data associated with it, correct?
Objection.
As to what date?
As of September.
I gotta get an objection button.
I'm sorry, September
Brian,
30th,
stop it.
2022.
Objection. I don't believe that's what the court order was. I think it's
I can make a quick offer of proof. That's exactly what it was that he was notified.
Were you aware of that? Was that your understanding?
What's the question exactly, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
That's the question again.
Sure. Were you served with a copy of a notice on September 30th, 2022, that you not alter or destroy or manipulate anything on your phone on September 30th?
I was served an order, yes, that's correct.
And isn't it true, at another hearing, you explained that on September 29th, the day before you claimed you got that notice, you changed phone carriers and changed phone numbers?
And I maintained the phone.
Until you didn't. When you destroyed it a month after throwing it away, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you do that in October? Did you destroy that phone?
Objection.
Sustained.
Did you pull the SIM card out of your phone, Mr. Higgins?
Oh, question got through.
Did you?
It's possible that
He's like, yeah, sustain this. What's up?
Yes.
You testified.
It's
at a previous-
possible that if I took it out, that it was either cut or broken.
It's not just possible.
So that,
And that would have been after the date the order was already denied.
Mr. Higgins, I have one question left. One question. Did you, Mr. Lowley's already standing. I haven't even started.
have a seat, Mr. Lane. Go ahead, last
Yeah, fight in the courtroom, son.
Quiet, please. Quiet.
Very simply, and then we're done. Did you remove the SIM card for that phone, drive onto a military base, throw the SIM card in one dumpster and the phone in a different dumpster?
That is not correct.
May I inquire?
Yes.
Man, I am at a loss of words because being an ATF agent, you know everything about. Listen, we spend a lot of time on our phones, man.
Yeah.
We know everything about our phones. We know how to delete messages. We know how to delete phone calls. We know how to destroy a phone. For him to go circles and circles and act like this, like a clown,
not good.
It's not a good look.
Yeah, he's lying.
100%.
He knows exactly what he's doing. He knew exactly. He might not have known how to get the stuff off the machine, right? Because if that kind of machine obviously exists, you don't use it all the time.
It would be like you and me, right?
Right.
You trying to run this iPad, and I'm over your shoulder telling you, okay, now hit that one, hit this one, hit that one.
That's what you do.
That's what I'm saying. That's the example, right? Okay. But if he doesn't know that, his buddy's helping right over his shoulder, getting him. I want to keep that. So it was very selective of what he provided to law enforcement.
Law enforcement,
right?
Yeah.
Before they even ask for it.
Yeah. Yeah. He's there. It's chess, man. It ain't checkers. They got to win. So
these guys are so dumb. It is checkers. It's not chess.
Well, yeah, these guys, it's more like Connect Four,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or, I don't know, war.
But the judge in this one was just striking everything down.
See how every single question is an objection.
Well,
I mean,
because
literally,
it's incriminating.
I know, but you gotta, you have to be able to get information from them. Otherwise, how is court going to proceed? You have to be able to get the answers. That's why you're in court.
Yeah.
To get the answers, not every question, objection, objection, objection. Because then you might as well be like, you know what? Get him off the stand. I can't even ask him a single question.
The thing is Laley knew it was going downhill, so he had to stop.
Yeah, and that's why he objected to every single question just to see if Bev was going to let it through or not.
And Bev would let one or two go
out
through.
of 10 go through. Did you do that? Okay, next question. And she rushes them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needs to be pushing a broom in high school somewhere. That's what she's worth to me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the end of No Game Higgy.
Oh, Higgins.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but I think you're going to need a new lawyer.
Well, he's administrative leave right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably going to be terminated, I would think.
Yeah,
or at least demoted or whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
but he might even go with that click after that federal offense, right?
He might go 492, which for us means 492, click, bracelets on, going to jail.
Click, get in the back.
Yeah.
Right? So
okay.
Well, let us know what you think.
Yeah, that was interesting. And we knew it would be.
Yeah.
And, objection.
What's that, Steve?
Objection.
Oh, sorry. I asked. This guy.
Touche, my friend.
Touche. Good one, Steve. Steve made a funny. He's got jokes now. All of a sudden. All right.
Give him some barley water and he gets all crazy on us.
Yeah. All right. We're working hard over here, getting you guys some videos. We hope you enjoyed this. So thanks for watching.
And for those who are still serving and watching, have a safe tour duty out there.
Make a difference in someone's life. Stay classy, Las Vegas.
Always. Thank you. Badoosh. There you go, buddy.
Badoosh.
Good show. Good show.
I object.
I object. Of course you do. Sustained.
1 Sam 5 and 1 Sam 6. Copy of 425 call.
Copy. 1 Sam 5 en route.
1 Sam 6. Copy. En route.